Hey guys, Deanpo here with another video, and where do I start? So, Catastrophic Recast is over. I also managed to get past chapter 3840 a lot sooner than I thought I would be able to, and we got some new characters dropping tomorrow. I think all in all it's been a good start to the week. Now, I'm not in the business of speculation, nor I intend to make such videos, so until Same Ibuki and Dalsim drop, I'll not waste time on any discussion or hypothetical scenarios. I will, however, cover them in depth when they drop and make a decision on whether I'll be buying them or not. It'll essentially boil down to whether they can add value to my team or not, and I think that should be everyone's mindset. Unless you're a hard out whale, you don't get characters based on hype alone. Always go for the ones that complement your current setup. Identify where you got gaps and just go for it. Um, Anyways, without further ado, let's do a quick recap of the Catastrophic recast. So, here, and then we can walk through how to complete chapter 38. So, Catastrophic Recast has finished, and regardless which side of the fence you're on, I think it was a great event. I like the fact that it was all inclusive. Ironically enough, we saw free-to-play players actually giving whales a run for their money. No pun intended here. Now, the fact that they had that one mission though, they gave 5 special tickets, locked behind the paywall, did leave a sour taste in people's mouths, and I think it was a bit of a douchebag move. Hopefully going forward, we'll see less and less of that. Now, back to the free-to-play aspect, I think that was a nice touch, right? So it allowed characters that were built really, early on in the game's life cycle to come back and actually be competitive. So your Guiles and your Chun-Lis. I think this incentivizes players to build all sorts of themes rather than just have that one meta. And I'm also one of those people, right? I paid so dearly for heavily investing in Akuma and Iryu, whom both took back seat, right? As a result, I was competing with a half-built Sea Viper, Chun-Li, and a yellow Virgil. I still enjoyed it though. Managed to snatch 2 first places and 2 second places, which was around 60 tickets all in all, if I'm not wrong. As you can see, Stefan here, who's becoming quite a myth in our community, managed to get the first place in the last 2 events with his OP Guile team. So rumor has it that he plays 8D chess in his sleep. Others believe he has secret cameras installed in your house during showdown. That's how he wins. All I know is this man is kicking ass and taking names. So well done, Stefan. Anyways, back to chapter 3840. Um, so I cleared it while I was level 371, I believe, and I cannot emphasize this enough. I don't think 371 is the correct level to complete this chapter, right? Everyone here seems to be 30 to 40 levels above me. So, as you can expect, this was an absolute slugfest, right? DPS was not the greatest, but it was still a fairly straightforward chapter, I think. Up until you get to the last 3 teams who you gotta verse, that is. And what makes this team so tricky compared to the rest of the teams you fight along the way? Well, it's the fact that second and third teams have Bizang in the starting lineup, backed by Dalsim, who more or less just barbecues your whole team. And because they have a Bizang in the lineup, they usually get to go first. So Dalsim has a field day, scorching your teams. Anyway, so I was able to nuke the first lineup. They had an Able, Dalsim, Decapper, and Sea Viper. Still a nasty lineup at this level. However, by far the easiest out of 3 teams. So I used the Bison, F Blanca, Street Poison, and Evil Ryu to clear it. Essentially, I stacked 2 fast chance and Virgil's EX, and it was GG. I just aped them from the get-go. What Virgil's EX move allows you to do essentially is when Dalsim pops his super, you pop your EX, and it negates all the damage, and your team survives through it. Now, the tricky part is getting past the 2 Bizang teams. Essentially here is like, you get to go past, you verse the first one and you can use your own Bizang team to counter it. However, then when you get to the second team, you have nothing to cancel with, and because they have Bizang in the lineup, they usually get to go first. And the way I got through this essentially was, I thought about it, who can I use that can interrupt Dalsim's combo? And it was Dante, believe it or not. Now, shout out to Killer Whale who let me use Dante. I know Dante has copped a lot of slack about how useless he is, but I definitely believe he has a place in the current meta. I use this super to essentially interrupt the enemy team. Have a look at the fire and see how effective he can be if you're using him correctly. So watch this, right? I'm waiting for the enemy team to pop off. Use Dante, raises them, and then Virgil does the rest of the heavy lifting with Akuma. And even with this like setup, right, with Virgil, Akuma, and Dante, this fight basically goes down to the wire. It was so painful to do because you need to balance your CC with your damage output, right? And because Dante doesn't do heaps of damage with your super by crowd controls, you gotta find that balance on when you can go apeshit and just destroy everyone, and when to sort of pull back and try and cancel them. So that's how I dealt with the first team. Second team, however, it was a little bit more straightforward because I could use my Bizang to counter him. It was still a slugfest nonetheless, but it was a little bit easier because here you just relying on the RNG, which is a lot easier to pull off with Bizang than it is with Dante. And essentially, MHCam does all the heavy lifting, Bizang just interrupts, and then you just rinse and repeat until you deal with them. So fast forward, as you can see here, that's chapter 38 done. Now I get to play with the big boys in chapter 39 whenever they do decide to catch up. Anyways, that's all from me until tomorrow. I'd just like to give a special shout out to Rehan from our guild, who's been helping me with the YouTube channel. And also, thanks to everyone who's watching these videos, and I'll catch you all tomorrow for Ibuki and the Alcim drops.